So just a little bit tricky, when we do this, but we're going to have to, we're going to have to be really, I think this is going to be, so we have yesterday's range, but we're right in the middle of it. So if you see, we're right in the middle of yesterday's range, which is frankly the trickiest spot. If you look at the individual price action of this last, last week, every spike has been faded off in the morning. So you see this early morning spike faded off. And then we got a little shove in the morning and then it faded off. And we got a shove in the morning and it faded off. And then, on the 19th, see this early morning gap and it got faded off and trended down all day. And then in the previous day, we had an early morning spike and it faded off, and then we actually closed near lows. So we've been really this is the 14th. So you got this early morning spike and you faded off. So you have a playbook here. You have a playbook here of kind of what's happening. So there's no, what we have to do is just stick with what's working, which is that any kind of strength gets faded off, and we just can't trust it. Now, I've talked to a lot of traders the last few days, and they're like, oh my gosh, I was long, and then I got caught upside down after the open yesterday, and you've got to just have this, write it down if you have to, hey, we usually fade the fade or fade the gap, and then we go the other way. So there's going to be today, you're going to be long short probably a couple times. That's just the nature of the game right now because you're just grinding down. We've been grinding down. We peaked out at October 12th. We're at October 27th, so it's been 13 days, and we've been just grinding down. But the playbook is there. Any kind of big spikes in the market are probably going to get faded off till election day. That's just the nature of what's happening right now, and we've just got to kind of play that action. For today, it looks like today may be an inside day. An inside day is where you're inside the previous day's range. An inside day is going to be a lot more tricky than any other kind of day because, frankly, we'll have to deal with yesterday's resistance, but then we're also going to yesterday's, right here. But then we're also going to have to, very well, right, kind of play around with all these MAs. There's a confluence of just junk here that, frankly, we have to clear. You got 9-day, 20-day, 50-day, yesterday's big monster cock candle. So you've got kind of a whole confluence of, junk. And then you can see all this kind of price action even before it, which makes it a little bit trickier. Now, we are due for one, I will say one thing. We are due for one, just monster cock, face ripping kind of day. Because you can see here, you're just grinding down along this trend line. And when you do that, the more times you kind of test, right, the top of your trend line, the more likely at some point you're going to be really willing to rip. So we are due for that kind of big kind of mega penis candle day. It's just a matter of kind of getting there. But the price action right now just suggests gap and fade, gap and fade, gap and fade, till, and frankly, we've made a lot of money just fading every kind of green move in the market anyways. Why would we want to do anything different? Now let's take a look at some of the earnings plays, guys. It is earnings season. If you're having trouble reading the market and you're fuck, I'm getting caught this way, that way, then what you want to really be doing is just focusing in on the earnings plays. There's a whole host of them every single day. And you can come in and something like this XLNX is probably going to move very, very clean. Godecker. So godecker.com. Interesting enough. This is an IPO stock. It doesn't have that much liquidity. I'm not sure on this one. Probably pass. SRK jump. So this SPI's got a little PR out this morning. SPI Energy Board approves plan to spin off Solar Juice. Solar Juice. It's like the juice of solar. Solar Juice would sell solar PV panel, solar inverters, energy storage, complete solar systems for residential, blah, blah, blah. Solar Juice, and we blah, blah, blah. You know, this could be something like you got a range break that's setting up over here. I mean, that could be something, if you like small caps, that could be something worth playing, especially if it starts to kind of bust through these levels over here. You know, the market cap on this company is only at 20 million. Man, that's really the way to go. You get your market cap low enough, you can pump up a stock 1,000% then pretty easily in just a matter of some PRs. This could be in play if you like small caps. Now this, Advanced Micro to buy Excellent Action, $35 billion deal. So this is a buyout? Fuckers. Yeah, I was just looking at this for a swing too. That would be nice to be stuck in a buyout. Pass. Whole hog. So Harley Davidson's got some earnings out here. You know what? This one actually moves okay. It's only 150 million share float. You start to come out of range over here. You're up 10%. Like, that's actually a decent kind of gapper play to put. I'd add that to the list. Now, it is a little bit of a retail stock, but I guess motorcycles been getting hot lately. That one could work. Corsair. Davison starts Corsair Gaming with the buy. You know, this stock is getting rated with analyst upgrades every single day, like in unison. You have a flag pattern that's developing here at 26. I mean, frankly, this one could have a chance to get going. You've got a sweet spot there. Now, it stinks as a day trader, probably more of like a little swing look. That's a really, really good looking chart. It just is a matter of, you know, timing. It doesn't move that well intraday. Actually, intraday it moves like shit. Like every day it just sits around. So not really anything worth doing, but probably something to just take a look at on the swing side. Excess, jump. Alright, looks like... Jason, you know, you don't seem like the kind of guy, a Harley type of guy. You seem like, you know, like what, like a smart, one of those like smart cars. That seems like your type of thing. One of those little cars. Like a nice Vespa. Ooh, shop. Analyst. Okay, shop's got some news with TikTok. That golf cart is so hot. You put rims on that, huh? Man, that thing is awesome. Hey, shop might be in play. There's some rumors that they're starting something with the TikTok. You know how that shit goes. But, you know, that's the hot name right now. That's all that really matters. I would roll with that. Like, you know, I would roll with that. You know, you can add in shop. You're at a nice breakout spot anyways. So, like, you can... And frankly, like you can definitely get some heat on this thing. You got a breakout spot setting up at like 1,000. I'd roll with it. What do you think? Yeah, I know it's a little pricey. It's, you know, Shopzilla is very pricey, but what are you gonna do? All right, are we missing any gappers here? Did anybody see any earnings plays they liked? Let me see, Twilio. Twilio's earnings did already come out. There's been no reaction to it. So I'm not sure. Like, I have it on the list. I think we put it on the list, but when there's no reaction to the earnings, it's very, very hard to figure out, like, what it's going to do, where it's going to go. It's on the list, but, like, I don't, you know, there's not been a huge reaction. So if you go in, let me check here. Day we got today. Alright, it's So we got AMD, Pfizer, RTX, JetBlue, Eli Lilly, Hog, XRX, Crocs, True. Damn, there's a whole host of these things today. Hub, junk. Unisys, junk. So AMD's out. Let's take a look. Yeah, AMD's pushing. So AMD's got kind of, this is going to be tricky today because AMD's got like two different things that, you have to be aware of. Number one is, they have a buyout, a massive buyout, $35 billion. I mean, it's only a $100 billion company, so you're basically going to dilute $35 billion worth of shares possibly, unless they already own them and they just handed them over. And then you have earnings out, which is also going to, shove it around. So which way this goes, I don't actually know. This is a read and react play. Now, for those of you guys that are just not quick on the draw, like a read and react play is very, very tough because if you guess wrong, you get smoked, right? Like if some people, they're able to kind of read the price action and then they can figure it out. There's no set way. Like we don't know if this thing is going to go up or roll red today. We just don't know. Like it's stuck in this range and it may break under, may break over. It may even take a couple tries. So this like kind of read and react play is very, very difficult unless you just have like very, very fast spirit fingers. And if you do, then, this is going to be a good one. So I'd add this to the list, but like I wouldn't say this is a huge priority because a read and react play is going to take like a whole host of, good luck basically. Oh, Brain, you try to do a little Corsair, huh? Okay, AMG's pushing today. AIG is very tough to trade too. Pack, junk. Okay, junk. Cool. So let's go into so the market's at 0.4% here. So this is kind of my game plan, beyond just, these kind of gapper plays. We got stocks like Peloton that are starting to break under. It's MA. We got a nice kind of range over here. If it busts under yesterday's lows, we'll put the short hat. We'll put the short hat back on this thing. All right. So if we bust under today's lows, we'll put the short hat back on. Same thing like with a stock like a Crowd. It's on a sweet spot. So if the market rips, then we can just rip it off the 50 SMA. But frankly, if the market wants to just get smoked out, then the range on this is enough. You can see this strength. You got fade off $10. If we get a nice shove, and the market starts to roll over, we'll get a good bleed on it. Royal Caribbean has a range break that's been setting up here. Frankly, I mistimed this a couple times yesterday. The range on it was sick. I mean, for $60 stock to have a $10 range is very, very nice. So you got up about 0.5% today. If this thing goes green to red, I think it's going to be a good one. This is going to be pretty good. Add that to the short list. So you've got like a wall of something nasty around this 101, 102. Somebody doesn't like that area. It had a big rip into the close. $10. You're opening red. Frankly, I mean, that's going to give us... I I don't know why. What the fuck? I don't know why this thing like gets smoked out every day for like $10 and then rebounds. But frankly, if we can get like a dip on this at the open, if we can get a dip on it at the open, I think, I think we try it. Like, I think we try it for a long... The more times it tests this area, the more likely it's going to have like a monster breakout. So I do think it's going to have it, but we know like we need to only hit this on dip, most likely. I mean, if we chase it, we may get smoked out on it. So like we're going to have to be careful today on it, frankly. Fuckers. Okay. 102 is the breakout. 102 is the breakout. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Same thing with Frog. Frog had a big breakout yesterday, and then it got kind of murder candled all the way back down to lows. When you see that, like, it makes it really tricky because there's going to be some bag holders basically in this area, and we're going to have to like just trade around it. If the market goes, we could probably get this thing back into 95, but otherwise, leave it alone. I'd leave probably Snappy Chat alone for a couple days. And look, this JKS, it was squeezing randomly like all day yesterday. Like anytime it dipped, it was going. And then, it dump off and then it just rip out of nowhere. My gut feeling is this is probably rounding the way, at least the way it was acting yesterday. It got shoved off the 9 EMA on the daily. If this thing starts to break over, I think we're going to have ourselves some fun. Let it put an alert at that 9 EMA. So this is like its 2-day range break. If it takes that out even at the open, like we're going to be ready to shred on it. What do you think? Hey, let me check. Whoa, what the fuck? Let me check out SQ. SQ's on multiple levels of support here. Frankly, like, there's a couple of these tech stocks that are showing the same setup. You got SQ on support, D-Dog on support. D-Dog's on a lot of support. What these need is the market to go. What we need is the market to go. Like, if the market can't hold, then it's going to be very tricky. Yeah, it looks good. I like it. I mean, overall, it is. It looks pretty good. Roku, let me look. Yeah, let me see, Roku. Man, Roku is nice. You know what? I would put that on the top of the list as long as the market goes. Like, if the market can go, then this one will be fine. The issue with Roku, and you guys, you can't just be thinking long, long, long. The issue with Roku is that if it loses this support here, I mean, it's going to dump off, right? So you've got to be, really just kind of careful with, you got to be careful with what you're doing here. So you got 15-minute chart here. 217, if you lose it, then it's fine. If it gets over 225, you're good. Game plan is the same today as every other day. If the market rolls red, then we're going to short. Cool. Let's get That's our list. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, that's our list. I don't think we need much more. Game plan is to fade if we have it. And we got a lot of stocks sitting on support. Cool. Let's go.